We begin with the news of the day, the fight over Barack Obama's foreign policy. Joining us now is one of the people who formulate that policy, senior advisor to the Obama campaign, Susan Rice. Susan, thanks for coming on.
Good to be with you.
So on Tuesday night during the debate, Barack Obama said in response to Hillary Clinton's claim that he wanted to bomb Pakistan, he said, look, wherever al-Qaeda is, we can respond. We have the moral right to do so. For instance, he said, if al-Qaeda is forming a base in Iraq, we'll do something about it. Well, the following day, yesterday, John McCain comes out and says, if al-Qaeda is in Iraq, if, to which Obama said this in response to John McCain. Watch.
I do know that al-Qaeda is in Iraq, and that's why I've said we should continue to strike al-Qaeda targets. But I have some news for John McCain, and that is that there was no such thing as al-Qaeda in Iraq until George Bush and John McCain decided to invade Iraq. They took their eye off the people who were responsible for 9/11. That would be al-Qaeda in Afghanistan, that is stronger now than at any time since 2001. I've been paying attention, John McCain.
Okay, I'll concede the second part of that there wasn't a sizable contingent of al-Qaeda in Iraq till we invaded. I'll concede that. Here's what confuses me is the first part. He said, I said we should continue to strike al-Qaeda targets in Iraq. I thought he wanted to pull us out of Iraq.
Well, the hypothetical question that was posed to him was, once U.S. forces were all out of Iraq, if there was an insurrection or a civil war, would you be prepared to go back in? And what Barack Obama said is, as commander-in-chief, of course I reserve the right to do what's necessary to protect our interests. And if al-Qaeda were forming a base inside of Iraq, we would deal with it. So that was the hypothetical answer. Obviously, he knows that there's al-Qaeda in Iraq, which is why his Iraq plan that he put out over a year ago leaves behind, after the withdrawal of American combat brigades, a residual in Iraq and in the region that is capable and would be mandated to go after al-Qaeda cells. So that's his approach.
Those would be combat forces.
No, you can do that through special forces. You can do that through a variety of means. You can do it through covert means.
But you got to have people with guns in order to fight al-Qaeda.
You have to have people who are capable of doing targeted counterterrorism operations. We do that in a variety of ways.
Okay, but they've got to be armed men out to kill people.
Or
that's
women,
not the same.
Or whatever. But the point is, we would have...
You're going to put women in the SEAL teams now?
The point is that we will have the capability, after the withdrawal of our combat brigades, to continue targeted counterterrorism operations inside
but that's not a withdrawal of all combat forces. You're leaving forces that are preparing for combat. No, I mean, that's not a semantic difference. That's a real difference.
As I said, Tucker, there are different ways to do it. Whether you have formed combat brigades, which is what Barack Obama has said he would remove, or smaller units that are special forces and others, which are typically what we use to do counterterrorism operations, that's to be determined. But his plan is that we'll take our combat brigades out at the pace of 1 to 2 a month, with the aim of having them out within 16 months. That's a pace that our military leaders say is manageable, reasonable, and safe for our forces. Barack Obama's plan has always contemplated a small residual behind in Iraq and in the region that can do two critical things. One is obviously protect our embassy and remaining civilians, and the other is to continue counterterrorism operations against al-Qaeda.
My question is really a political one as well. Do you think that the anti-Iraq voters who are supporting Barack Obama understand clearly that under an Obama administration there would still be Americans firing guns in Iraq?
There would still be Americans doing targeted counterterrorism operations. He's said that repeatedly. He's been very clear about it, so I hope people are paying attention.
All right. The other sort of contretemps over Barack Obama's foreign policy positions is long-standing, and it's his proposed policy to meet with people who don't like us without preconditions. The president came out today, I'm not going to play the soundbite, you probably saw it, and said, look, that's a foolish idea, it reduces our prestige, and you're not getting anything by doing it. Part of that's correct. Why wouldn't we attach a precondition to meeting with people who hate us? Why not get something out of it?
For the same reason that Richard Nixon and Ronald Reagan and John F. Kennedy didn't. They all negotiated with our adversaries, China, the Soviet Union, and we made some progress, in fact. This notion of George Bush's, and it's really unique to him, that somehow we are rewarding our adversaries by sitting down and engaging in tough-minded, well-prepared negotiations is one of the many products of his failed presidency. If John McCain wants to take his foreign policy advice from the most disastrous president in our lifetime, that's his prerogative. But Barack Obama's not going to do that.
But doesn't a meeting with the American head of state have value? It's a commodity. It's worth something.
It's a means to an end.
But isn't it also worth something?
It is a means to an end, Tucker. First of all, these negotiations would be well planned. But we're not going to take the view that the Bush administration has taken, that we're only going to negotiate with our adversaries after they do what it is we seek to accomplish in negotiations. That's the position we've taken with Iran. We won't sit down and talk to you until you've ended and suspended your nuclear program, which is, of course, what we need them to do. That's counterproductive. That ensures that we'll never have direct dialogue with Iran. Whereas they're continuing their nuclear program unabated, we're having trouble getting sanctions, which we need to push forward on, and we are therefore losing because time is on the Iranian side. Now, the Bush administration hasn't applied this foolish policy consistently. They have negotiated finally and belatedly with North Korea, and as a consequence, we've made some progress with North Korea. It's not done, it's not complete, but we're a lot further along than we were before.
But they already have the bomb, so...
Well, no, but the whole point of the negotiation is to roll that back, so, you know...
Very quickly, there's this kind of minor contra brewing on the internet about Senator Obama's remarks about NAFTA during the debate on Tuesday night. CTV, a television station in Canada, reported that someone from the Obama campaign, high level, called the Canadian ambassador to Washington before the debate and said, look, we're going to attack NAFTA. Be assured we don't really mean it. Was there any contact between anyone in the Obama campaign and anyone in the Canadian government about NAFTA?
Well, the Canadian ambassador issued a statement saying that that story was absolutely false. There had been no such contact. There had been no discussions on NAFTA. So we take the Canadians at their word. Period. That's what he said.
You take the Canadians at your word. Will that be your policy? Do you believe in an Obama administration? Take the Canadians at their word. And is that a wise policy?
Canadians at their word, we're all in trouble.
We may be. Susan Rice, thank you very much.
Thank you.